Hi, Mikel. Why was it important for Arsenal to make such a strong statement when it comes to the No More Red campaign?
Well, obviously, we've been really involved as a club over the years with the knife crime, and we have the capacity to give exposure to that issue in London, and everyone at the club has been extremely supportive, starting with the players and our sponsor, especially Adidas, which has been exceptionally good to come with some great ideas to support that, and I think it's very beneficial.
And of course, it'll be the players that'll be wearing the kit on Sunday. So when you told them about this campaign, what they'll be wearing, and knife crime in general, what have their thoughts been?
Right, they've been aware for a while, and this campaign has been trying to get done for a long time. But with the COVID issues, we haven't had the chance to do it. We are going to do it now in the game on Sunday, and they are extremely supportive with that.
And online, there's lots of proud Arsenal fans, but there are some Arsenal fans who are thinking beyond Sunday, what will the players do? What will the club do? How will you keep pushing this issue forward and keep highlighting serious youth violence in the capital?
Well, there is a lot of work that is done outside the lights, obviously, and a lot of people that have spent a lot of effort to try to design different ways and ideas to support that cause. It's not something that is going to be resolved overnight, but certainly given the exposure and the attention that is needed, and hopefully many other people can jump in this initiative and try to resolve it, because it's a big issue in London.
And of course, onto the game, you go into Sunday's game as favourites, so it's a good opportunity to give some chance to some of those younger players. So who are the younger players that you'd be looking forward to seeing and maybe giving a chance to?
Well, we have a really young squad, so a lot of them are already really young, but we'll assess the squad. We still have some issues around it, like it's happening every single match. Tomorrow, when we have the last training session, we have every test pack. We will know who is available, and we'll try to go there to win the match, which is going to be difficult because this guy on the coaching staff took over. They really changed the team, and I expect a really tough match.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Comes to George at the BBC.
Thanks, Mark. Mikel, first of all, how are you? How are you feeling after your COVID?
I feel good. I have a few rough days, but I feel in top form. I was so happy to leave my house after being there for 7 or 8 days, so I'm really good.
Good. Well, good to hear. But before I talk about Sunday's match, can I just ask you how you felt on Saturday afternoon at about 2:45 when Man City scored that winner then?
Well, I was, as you can imagine, I was extremely upset how we lost the game at the end. But at the same time, extremely proud for the performance, the way the players played the game, the atmosphere that I managed to feel throughout a TV, which is nothing like being on the touchline. But the support from our fans and the atmosphere that they created was incredible. So just for that as well, extremely grateful. And but at the same time, very disappointed because we ended up losing the match, and we have to improve.
With just a couple of them decisions with Granit Xhaka and Gabriel, do you accept with them that probably they live life on the edge and then they're going to give a red card or a penalty away, but over the course of the season they're worth their weight in gold and they're worth more valuable?
Well, if I have to rate the decision that they were made on that game, I have to be extremely disappointed. Because it was completely inconsistent and affected in a big way the result. So I prefer not to talk much about it.
Okay. Can I just ask how you feel about a lot of the fans are frustrated that the Liverpool match was called off. How do you feel about it? Are you frustrated yourself, or you totally understand?
We wanted to play the match, but you have to understand that clubs are having a lot of issues. And then again, we have people who is in charge to make the final decision whether the game has to be played or not, and I believe that they should have enough arguments not to play the game if the authorities manage to postpone the match. But of course, we wanted to play.
And just team news, please, for tomorrow, or COVID news, as it probably is called now, with any new situation.
I would have them all tomorrow. We have some issues, but but we'll know more tomorrow.
Okay, and the last one from me, just as you've won this cup, and we all remember the scenes in the dressing room when you lifted the trophy, do you feel like it's your trophy and you want it back from Leicester?
Of course, we won it, and we have an incredible history related to this competition, but you have to go game by game. Every game in this competition is extremely difficult. We're going to go to Forest. We know the atmosphere we're going to face, the team that we're going to have to play, and you have to go step by step and don't look any further.
Thanks very much. Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Ian, TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So come on then, what's the experience like for a football manager watching football on TV? I'm saying it, having to go at the TV company producing it. I mean, what was it actually like? Was it really, you couldn't do that every week, right?
No. It's a very strange feeling. Obviously, trying to communicate with players through the computer, it's something that I'm not used to it. It's the best moment of the week when you are there on the touchline and things start to happen and you are part of that atmosphere, you are part of that energy, and when you are at home, a lot of that gets lost. But at the same time, I was quite calmer than I expected to be, probably because I knew that from there it was pretty difficult to get anything to them.
Absolutely. Regarding the FA Cup and Forest, last time Arsenal went there a couple of years ago, they were beaten 4-2. But when they went there in 1979, which was granted before you were born, they won 1-0 with Frank Stapleton scoring, and then they went on to win the cup. So is that a good omen if you win there on Sunday?
To have the history all the time you play an opponent and to make players realize the difficulty of matches, sometimes it's very useful.
What about the priority? I mean, you're now you're part of this conversation for the top four. You're in the semi-final of the League Cup. Where does the FA Cup sit in terms of your priority?
For me now, it's very difficult to plan. It's not priority. I think you have to go game by game, regardless of the competition. If you want to plan what's going to happen in 2 or 3 games, and you start to keep players not to play because they're going to play in other matches, it doesn't work like it, because maybe the next day they get COVID or something happens and you don't have them. So what we discuss, game by game, try to win every single game, and then the rest will be much better for sure.
So it's quite a hard, almost an impossible time now to be a manager in terms of actually having a plan that goes beyond the following weekend. You can't plan like a month.
You cannot do it because you know that you expect to have things that are going to happen. So I think it's better to put in advance the problems that you can face and what are the chances of that happening. And if you do that, then the plan B and C are ready. If not, I think you are just chasing things all the time, and it's not the way that I like to do things.
Finally, on a couple of your strikers, Eddie Nketiah early in the season didn't want to sign a new deal. Patrick Vieira is very keen on him at Crystal Palace. Do you expect Eddie Nketiah to still be an Arsenal player in 4 weeks' time?
I already spoke about Eddie, about how I feel about him, the intentions of the club, and where we are. And he is with us. Every day he shows me and the club that he wants to stay with us. And I will keep having those discussions with him, but he knows that we want another club. And
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is away at the African Nations Cup, apparently went partying, and maybe that's where he caught COVID. Do you feel vindicated that you've been absolutely right in your treatment with Aubameyang and the fact that he is, for want of a better expression, a bit of a problem player?
For me, it's difficult to judge when the players are away, and I don't know what they were able to do or not. The decision that I have taken, obviously, they were always in the best interest of the club, and trying to do the right thing with what we demanded to.
Well, welcome back to the touchline this weekend.
Good.
Gary from Sky Sports.
Yeah, hello, Mikel. Thanks for your time. Are you willing to give any more information? Just quoting you back regarding the COVID news, some issues you'll know more tomorrow. What potential issues, how many potential COVID cases do you think you might have, if in the worst scenario?
It was for COVID and for injuries as well. And again, I cannot say anything else. Obviously, I don't want to give anything away, as you can imagine. And tomorrow we will know more.
Is it a worrying number or a less worrying number?
Well, we are really short with numbers. We are really, really short in numbers.
But no chance the game will be, you'll try and call the game off?
We want to play, and that's how we are approaching every game. We want to do everything to plan the game, and we don't expect different than to play on Sunday.
Would this be a game that Charlie Patino could start?
It's all the players that are involved around the first team. They have the opportunity to do that, and they have to feel that they have the chance to do that. And Charlie is not an exception.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles on his way to Rome. We've even got a time when he's expected to land at Rome Airport. So just a thought about that deal?
Well, Ainsley came to me and explained the reasons why he thought that that the best thing for him in his career right now was to move away. He believed that the opportunity of Rome and working under Jose was a really good one. We already have this conversation in the summer. We decided to keep him at the club and assess the situation in December. And being fair with the amount of minutes that he's played, he was entitled to that opportunity. And when a player feels that way and he's got a strong arguments like he had, it's very difficult to turn that away. So we decided to let him go and wish him the best.
Of course. With the uncertainties surrounding Pierre-Emerick and Eddie, and it looks like Balogun going on loan to Middlesbrough, does that affect your thinking in the transfer window up front?
We have a really special situation in that position because obviously you are talking about three players with different issues at the moment, but we have to live with that. And so far, the players that are here are fully committed. With Flo, we will see in the next week or so what is the final decision on that. But for the rest, there is nothing that is new, and we're going to have to live with that till the end of the season.
Are you tempted to pop home to San Sebastian to put Alexander Isak onto an aeroplane?
You know that I can never speak about players that not ours. There is a lot of speculation with many names, and I'm not here to go through that, unfortunately.
And I'm working, if you don't mind, final question from me. I'm working on a little piece looking ahead to the North London derby, and I'm kind of trying to base it around this stuff, the ketchup that they banned at Tottenham. I just wondered, more generally speaking, your views on diet and what restrictions, if any, you have at the training ground to try and get the best nutrition into the players.
There are a lot of things related to that. Obviously, rest and diet are two things that are critical for any sport athlete. Then obviously the culture and where they're coming from and the habits that they have is something that can clash very, very much depending how you do it. But of course, we have high demands for our professional players to have the right diet, the right timings when they eat, what they eat, and we are constantly monitoring that aspect.
Top man, thank you so much, Mikel.
Cheers, Gary. And come to Nick Maters.
Hi, Mikel. Good to see you up and about again. I'm just quickly following on from what you said about Ainsley going. Obviously, he's a very versatile player. Have you got enough players in the squad to cover for him, or do you need to bring someone in for the rest of the season?
We are very, very short at the moment. But to be fair on a player, this cannot be the only argument to try to keep a player, and a player that is been developed and raised through our academy, and a player that has been patient in many moments to try to fulfill his dream. And he was very straight with me, and I understood the situation, and we think is a good option. So obviously we are going to move and we are going to look for options because we are very short.
And just a couple of questions about Emil Smith-Rowe. I'm assuming if he's fit and COVID-free, he might get a chance to play against Forest. It was only a few weeks or so ago, he was starting every game, playing for England, but now he's more of a substitute, an impact substitute. How has he handled that change in his situation?
Well, the main reason to that is because he wasn't completely fit to play. And he's been carrying an issue that hasn't allowed him to train regularly, to play regularly. And that was the main reason, because looking at his performances and what he did before that international break, there is no question that he was one of our most important and consistent players. So the only reason that changed that dynamic, it was that. And obviously now that the team was doing well, there are other players that have performed well, and that changed the situation. But I'm very happy with him.
So you've also got Martinelli and Odegaard playing very well, so it's not going to be easy for him to get back in as an automatic starter.
This is what we need, that we raise the level, and each player raises the level of the player next to him, and this is how you evolve as a team, how you create the culture around the team, that when I get the opportunity, I have to grab it, that the statements should be done on the pitch and not talking or making comments. So when you have the opportunity, grab it and then show how good you are, and then if you do that, you will continue playing.
Talking about raising the level, Bukayo Saka, I heard a pundit say after the Man City game that he is already a world-class player. Do you think he is a world-class player or has the potential to be a world-class player?
I don't like to put these labels. I am really happy with Bukayo, with what he's doing, with how he's developing, with the importance that he has on the team, and most importantly, with the impact that he's able to make in each team, in each game, sorry. And this is something that we want to keep improving in his game, because he has the capacity to do it.
But the way he's playing, he's going to attract a lot of attention. Other clubs with lots of money will want to buy him. Would you urge the board to offer him a new contract this summer to show how much you love him?
I think that's great news when you have a lot of talk and people that are willing for your players. Is a really good sign. They should be proud, because that means that they are doing extremely good work.
Is a new contract on the agenda? Is that something you guys have been discussing?
It is time to talk about all those things.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.